Honourable members, Madam Speaker.
Prayer.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments to the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the good of those whose interests you've committed to their charge. Amen.
Item 2 on the order paper, communication from the chair.
Honourable members, I want to welcome you to this afternoon's sitting. Honourable members, I also want to inform you that the Toro Kingdom will be commemorating 30 years anniversary from the time of the coronation of the King, His Majesty the King Oyo Rukindi IV, through various activities scheduled between 10th and 13th September 2025 in Fort Portal City. As the House want to recognize the immense contribution of the Kingdom in promoting education, health, tourism, sports, and ensuring preservation of the Toro Kingdom's rich cultural heritage. On behalf of Parliament of Uganda and on my own behalf, we want to congratulate the Kingdom of Toro and we wish the King an enduring and historic reign. We want also to congratulate the Minister of Tourism, who happens to come from the same region, for successfully starting the naming ceremony of the rhinos. Today we started the naming ceremony of rhinos, and as Parliament we named one rhino, and of course it comes with a cost. As Parliament we named one rhino, we paid for it, and the name we gave the rhino is Kira, the source of the Nile. So we gave the rhino, and that is your rhino. So I want to urge all of you to be friends to that rhino. Thank you. Have a nice deliberation. Yes, Ethel.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, also, we join you together with all Ugandans to wish Toro Kingdom a very happy anniversary. Right Honourable Speaker, on the matter of rhinos, and we've noted it well, ours is Chira, the source of the Nile. We wish to point it and request once again the Ministry of Tourism to take more stock of the kind of tourism we have in the country. It's quite enormous. And when you get to a country like Zimbabwe, at least I've benefited from this Parliament of Uganda, one that has taken me to see the different falls, how Zimbabwe is strengthening tourism. Each and everything is showing, and it has to show about the falls. So let's see that we also enhance, and whatever detail is, at the end of it all, Ugandans, we live, even as Ugandans ourselves, you might find that someone is busy going for Victoria Falls, but someone has never seen the source of the Nile. So it's key that Ministry of Tourism leads this. It's not only schools that should go for tourism, tours. No, let's strengthen tourism and enhance it. As a country, we are really the pearl of Africa. When you look at other countries, they don't have anything, but they are busy talking and selling their tourism, yet Uganda, we have a lot. We urge the Ministry of Tourism to strengthen its marketing skills as far as our beauty and the sites of the country are. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. The next item is actually going to be on tourism, on the order paper. So if you're reacting, you can react to the issues of tourism after the minister has presented his paper. Yes.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable. Just out of your communication, especially to do with Toro Kingdom. Right Honorable, on behalf of Toro, I want to thank you so much for the support you've given the kingdom. I know the relationship between you and the kingdom is beyond just the office, that you've grown a relationship with the family, with the Queen Mother, with the King, and we want to thank you, Right Honorable. We know you've visited
Thank you.
You've visited the palace, and I'm aware from the King himself, and also want to pass on his appreciation to you for the continued support towards Toro Kingdom. We want to thank you so much, Right Honorable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Sarah, then Jen.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I know as the people of Tororo, we don't have a kingdom, but we have traditional leaders, yes. Because kings are born, ours are elected. So we, on behalf of the two cultural institutions, that is the Iteso Cultural Union and the Tiengadola Cultural Institution, I want to wish the people of Toro a happy celebration. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to really congratulate all those, specifically the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, but also the various stakeholders who have ensured that this country does restore the rhinos that were actually almost extinct in the early 1980s. I know that there was a deliberate effort to actually ensure that we grow the rhino population in the country, and I want to thank those individuals who took this up, because today, if they had not done so, the rhinos would be extinct. However, Right Honorable Speaker, when you move to certain countries, friendly animals like rhinos are actually within certain, when you move to hotels, like if you go to Zimbabwe, you'll find hotels with zebras, hotels with animals like rhinos, and they are there. The tourists, even within Kampala, would not need to travel. They can travel, but it is something that hotels that have land can adopt, so that they have these animals within actually these hotels. So it's one thing that I really want to call upon the Ministry of Tourism to interest the various stakeholders with land and hotels to actually have these friendly animals.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Jen.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of Kerkwaro Jonam, that is from Pakwach, I want to congratulate the people of Toro as they celebrate today. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of rhinos, Pakwach is a neighbor to Madio Kolo, where there are plans by Ministry of Tourism to transfer a number of rhinos to a giant national park, reserve national park. Right Honorable Speaker, as Minister of Tourism plans, I want to implore government that in planning there should be synergies, whereby different ministries need to work together. Right Honorable Speaker, even as the locals, if we wanted to promote domestic tourism, we are unable as people of West Nile, as people of Uganda. Why? The roads are so bad. If you went now and moved on the road from Panyimur, Pakwach, Wadelai, that then takes you to Ajai National Park. So I want to request the Minister of Tourism, together with the Minister of Works, that as they plan to take the rhinos, how will people go there in the park to look at the rhinos? Besides that, the area has no power. Nobody wants to go to such a place and you just stop at looking at the rhinos. You may decide to stay overnight. You may need to charge a phone. So really, in planning and allocation of resources and looking at what is our cash cow, I think tourism is one of next to coffee, or even more than coffee now in Uganda. Therefore, we cannot understaff the Ministry of Tourism with resources together with Ministry of Works. We need perfect roads for tourism to thrive in every part of Uganda. I therefore want to plead to government that we, the people of West Nile, the people of Madiokola and Pakwach, are eagerly waiting to see road equipment as the rhinos pass through our villages.
Thank you. It must be a multi-sectoral approach where we need a Minister of Energy, we need a Minister of Works, Minister of Tourism. But also as we do that, Honorable Minister, we allocated money for fencing. I hope that is one of the things you're going to address in your statement, fencing of the game parks. And as we said the other time, these people have started eating each other. When the animals get the children, they eat the children. When the big people get the animals in their compound, the big people also eat the animals. So we need to preserve the animals and also preserve the people. Yes, Honorable Olanya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on the behalf of what actually, I would like to congratulate our brothers from Toro. And Right Honorable Speaker, I would like in a special way to thank the government for uplifting the cultural leaders in this country. 2 months ago, the government provided cars for our cultural leaders. I would like to appreciate so much, Right Honorable Speaker, the Parliament for appropriating that money. Now our cultural leaders, at least, they are living a modest way of life. And I recall 3 years ago, about 53 houses were constructed for the cultural leaders in Acholi. And at least government managed to remove them away from the grass thatch to a permanent Mabati houses. I would like to thank that so much.
Thank you.
And finally,
but remember, we also increased their pay to
Exactly.
60 million
exactly.
in the last appropriation that we made.
Right Honorable Speaker, that's why I am quite happy on the manner how government is uplifting and really trying to help our cultural institutions. To the Minister of Tourism, Right Honorable Speaker also stated, it seems the animals are over multiplying. And the Minister of Tourism, they are failing to control the animals' movement. As I speak now, 2 months ago, we have more than 100 elephants. They are based in my constituency, in Amoro, in Lakang sub-county. And they're destroying people's crops like nothing. Even if the authority move, they cannot chase them away. They are ever firing bullets to chase them away, and it seems they are used to bullets. So, Right Honourable Speaker, the minister need to see another method of controlling animals' movement. If the animals are becoming too many, let us give authority to people so that they are slaughtered, just to reduce the number.
Honorable Lanya, can you withdraw that statement? That is not what conservation is about. Can you withdraw that statement?
Right Honourable Speaker, I withdraw that part, but I am trying to emphasize.
Honorable Lanya, all we need is to fence off the game parks. You get it, eh? And reserves, but not eating animals. If you're used to eating animals, stop.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. But let the minister get the way of controlling the wildlife movement. Thank you.
Yes, Afidra, then Lop.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to comment on the issue of naming of the white rhinos. Madam Speaker, you're well aware that I come from Rhino camp, and the white rhinos are called rhinoceros. I'm born from Rhino camp, and it is over many years during the past government that the rhinos became extinct in my own location, that is Ajai Game Reserve. At this point, I want to credit government of Uganda for playing a crucial role in restoring these white rhinos or rhinos back. From 3 to now a number more than 50 is a very significant intervention our government has played. But the second important thing as the people of Lower Madi or Madi Okolo is that the white rhinos were known to be in Madi Okolo or from Madi Okolo. And if government and parliament, which you preside over, allocates resources to translocate these animals from Ziwa to Ajai Game Reserve. Ajai is my great-grandfather and was the chief of the area. And this is a very significant step in ensuring that there is some equity in tourism appropriation in this country, that the people of West Nile can benefit from the incomes from tourism. So I want to say thank you to Minister of Tourism and Trade and Industries. That has played the crucial role in this. As far as the people of Madiokola are concerned, Madam Speaker, we are more than willing to receive these animals because we've already started receiving them. But allow me just make this statement on behalf of them. The road passing through Ajai Game Reserve.
That has already been said. We are going to work on the road. Okay? And the animal, the rhinos from 1980, when these poachers started eating, you know, Honorable Lanya is telling people to eat. There were 6 and they've now grown to 48. So we are happy that they are multiplying. So they are going to work on the road. Lop.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. And let me join you, Madam Speaker, to congratulate the Toro Kingdom on behalf of Vamasava, Cultural Kingdom, upon the 30th coronation anniversary of King Oyo. Madam Speaker, the Vamasava Cultural Institution enjoy lots of cordial relationship with the Toro Kingdom. And whenever this function is that locally termed Empango, and even this one of Empango 2025, the cultural leaders of Masavaland will definitely participate. I've ever benefited from such visits, courtesy of the first Umukuka with Masava, the late Wilson Wamimbi. However, Madam Speaker, the Vamasava soon paying you a courtesy call with a petition, putting the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development on notice for meddling in the affairs of the kingdom. As we talk, there is a serious rift, Madam Speaker, of a section, a clique of self-seekers among the Vamasava who have created their own kingdom called Inzuye Vagisu, which is parallel to Inzuya Masava. The rest you will see it, which is well articulated in that petition by your humble petitioners, Madam Speaker. Otherwise, I want to thank the Ministry of Tourism for construction of the Mbale Zoo, which is still under construction. I must salute you for the works that are progressing and they are in advanced stages. For supporting the Imbalu Festival, though some of the money disappeared mysteriously. But you did a lot. However, Madam Speaker, I, from sources, know that the rhino is part of those species that are earmarked to be brought to that zoo. But it is an endangered species. It has to be, I would maybe make a clarion call to the ministry to have it highly protected, because in places where rhinos are, they are hunted for their meat. I don't know what is in that meat, but their meat and the skin, they are a hot cake. The horns, or both. Otherwise, thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to submit.
I think you only like the meat, but rhino horns are also important. Yes, Elder, thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would also like to raise my voice to thank the people of Toro for today's celebrations. I would also like to thank His Excellency, the President of Uganda, who took it upon himself to look after that young child from the age of 3 until now, when he has become of age and he's able to manage the affairs of the kingdom by himself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honorable members, allow me to vary the order paper and our rules of procedure 26.1. Because I see the players here, we should handle the issue of the players before they go. I'm also aware they have a dinner this evening, so it's just prudent enough for us to let them go. So can we vary the order paper and first look at the motion? And protocol, can you take some people to the VIP gallery? Don't squeeze them. Yes.
Item 4 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay glowing tribute to the Uganda national football team, the Uganda Cranes, for their outstanding performance at the 2024 African Nations Championship.
Honourable members, you recall last week when the Minister for Sports was speaking about the Uganda Cranes in the House, we urged him to bring a motion in the House for the Uganda Cranes' outstanding performance during the CHAN. And bearing in mind that it is the first time that Uganda is reaching that level, and they deserve this kind of tribute from the Parliament of Uganda. Honourable members, as the Parliament of Uganda, we want to commend His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the First Lady, who is also the Minister of Education and Sports, for their consistent commitment in promoting sports as a component of our development plan. The President specifically pledged 1.2 billion shillings per win for the boys. And that message was delivered to the boys, and it's going to be fulfilled. I also want to thank you, the Parliament of Uganda, for always appropriating sufficient money to sports. Allow me also appreciate the Federation of Uganda Football Association of Uganda for their stewardship of the game. Because if they were not there, led by Honorable Magogo Moses, MP of Buyende, Budiope East, yes, and Salongo. Because without them, you will not have the team. So, Engineer, thank you so much. And no, thank our family. And I also want to thank, in a special note, all Ugandans. Honorable Minister Gwang, you did a very great job. We want to thank you. And we want to thank Ugandans for encouraging and morale boosting our boys. The boys out there, we are very proud of you. I can see Okello smiling. We are very proud of you. And as Parliament, we will continue supporting sports. And you are very good patriots. And pursuant to Rule 58 of the Rules of Procedure, I want to invite the Minister to move the motion.
Madam Speaker, I think in summary...
Maybe before you move a motion, can I introduce the people up there? In the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation of players and officials of Uganda national football team, the Uganda Cranes. Maybe for your information, this is not the only team of Uganda Cranes. Uganda Cranes has a number of teams. This is just the Chan team. We have Semugabi Jude, who is a player. Please stand up and wave. Welcome. Torach Rogers Ochaki. Welcome. Kakande Patrick. Jonah, thank you. Mutakubuya Joel. Welcome. Kizito Mugwere, all the way. Sebagala Enoch. Okello Alan. Watambala Abudu Karim. Welcome. Mpande Regan. Achai Habat. Serun George Joel. Mukundane Hilary. Ivan Ahimbisibwe. Sentamu Yunus. Odongo Arnold. Odongo Gideon. Usama Kiza. Ngonde Elvis. Anyama Emmanuel. Kuikiriza Shafik. Mwere Nicholas. Chigundu Stephen. Young man Marvin. Muhindo Lazaro. Kusima Christoph. Kia Jorem. Mutavasideo, the leader of delegation. Biekwaso, the head coach. Mole. We have Paul Joseph Put, the supervising coach. Welcome. Musa Fred, assistant coach. Welcome. Chigundu Stephen, goalkeeper coach. Luis Mandon, the physical conditioning trainer. Patros, performance coach. Massa Joffrey, team manager. Nakabago Emmanuel. Sewanyana Ivan. Ntege Patrick. Chirunda Hassan. Kimumwe Manzur. Mulondo Samuel, Bupenje Frank, Ibrahim Bashir, Kasibwe Ashraf, Kabali Ahmed, bus driver. We have VP1, the VP1, Mr. Mugisha Justice. We have Honorable Nachwala. We have Edgar Watson, CEO. We also have the president of FUFA, Honorable Magogo, engineer. And then we have the youngest minister of sports. Please, can you move the motion? Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. If I have not introduced you, I will.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to move a motion for the resolution of Parliament to pay glowing tribute to the Uganda national football team, the Uganda Cranes, for their outstanding performance for the 2024 African Nation Championship. Madam Speaker and colleagues, I move under Rule 58 of our Rules of Procedure. Whereas Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania co-hosted the African Nation Championship 2024 between the 2nd and 30th of August 2025 under a successful Pamoja bid with 19 African countries participating, including Tanzania, Kenya, Morocco, Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia, Mauritania, Niger, Guinea, Senegal, Sudan, and Nigeria, among others. With the games in Uganda being held at the newly renovated Mandela National Stadium. Aware that Uganda competed in a very competitive Group C alongside Niger, Algeria, and South Africa, and historically made it to the quarterfinals for the first time after 6 previous attempts. Acknowledging that the Uganda Cranes' teamwork, resilience, extraordinary efforts, and determination in CHAN 2024 tournament brought honor and glory to Uganda as they topped Group C ahead of Algeria and South Africa and exhibited a strong fighting spirit, holding the Ugandan flag high, and despite losing to the defending champion Senegal in the quarterfinals. Recognizing that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, played a vital role in the success of Uganda Cranes in the CHAN tournament through permitting the bidding for the tournament to be hosted in Uganda in collaboration with sister East African community countries, namely Kenya and Tanzania, permitting the financial preparation for strategic investment in vital infrastructure, including the renovation of Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, consistent messaging that rallied the national pride and support for the Uganda Cranes, pledging 1.2 billion shillings financial incentive for each win, and created a peaceful and stable political and social environment that significantly boosted the team's historical performance. Further, recognizing the pivotal role played by the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sport, Janet Kataha Museveni, who is the chairperson of the local organizing committee for both CHAN and AFCON 2027, whose physical presence at the tournament's grounds at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, and strategic leadership to the Minister of Education and Sports has boosted the sports subsector, as was clearly seen by Uganda's co-hosting CHAN 2024 tournament, as well as Uganda Cranes' success in the tournament. Appreciating the Parliament of Uganda under the able leadership of Right Honorable Speaker Annette Among Magogo, which has been seen Parliament reform the legislative framework and champion increased funding for sports infrastructure and talent identification and development. And in this regard, we further appreciate the Speaker for her personal commitment and contribution towards the organization of CHAN 2024, as well as her individual financial support to the Uganda Cranes team in particular. Appreciating the combined efforts of the local organizing committee and the Federation of Uganda Football Association, which were crucial in ensuring that Uganda successful co-host CHAN 2024 and provided the Uganda Cranes with the necessary logistical and training support to achieve their best ever performance in the history of the tournament. Further appreciating the unprecedented and enthusiastic support of the Uganda Cranes fans exhibited by the over 34,000 fans who were in physical attendance at both the stadium and the fan zone, tickets and jersey purchases, which created a strong home advantage for the Uganda Cranes team and further boosted the energetic performance in the CHAN 2024 tournament. Recalling that it is the practice of Parliament to appreciate, honor, recognize and reward Ugandans who have deservedly excelled in various fields of human endeavors, including sports. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Parliament congratulates and pays a glowing tribute to the Uganda national team, the Uganda Cranes, for its outstanding performance in the African Nation Championship 2024. And B, appreciate the President and the First Lady of the Republic of Uganda, as well as the Federation of Uganda Football Association, the local organizing committee, and the Uganda Cranes fans for their support, stewardship, and coordination towards the success of the tournament. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Is the motion seconded? Seconded by the Shadow Minister, Honorable Solo, Tebandeke, Ethel, Olanya, Zake, John Baptist, Masaka, Aguti, Hanifa, Obama, Isingoma, Abedi, UPC President, yeah, and the President of Motorsports, Emmanuel, Acrobat, Yokot, Margaret, Ochen, Mbale Site Koni, Nekesa, Olympian, Mbayo, Ismail, Omara, Queen, Akiki, Elda, Afidra, Chemongesi, Iglukor, Ntungamo, Kanungu, Isingiro, by the whole house, a FUFA President, Emily, Honorable Mavenjina, Kato, Rukungiri, Elda, Angura, Ntungo, by the whole house, including the Minister of Tourism. Would you want to speak to your motion?
Madam Speaker, above all, the person whom I need to recognize is the self-appointed lead of government business,
Honorable Sarah Opendi.
Colleagues, the African Nation Championship 2024, which Uganda proudly co-hosted alongside Kenya and Tanzania under the successful East African Pamoja bid, was not only a football tournament, but also a landmark achievement for our country across several dimensions. First and foremost, honorable colleagues and right honorable Speaker, the Uganda Cranes delivered a historic sporting milestone by advancing to the quarterfinals for the very first time, which I want to ask all of us to clap for them. This has been done after the previous 6 attempts. Secondly, the Uganda Cranes were able to top a highly competitive group that included Algeria, South Africa, Niger, and Guinea. This is unprecedented success, elevated Uganda's football profile on the continent, and inspired the renewed confidence in the domestic league players. I want to underline the word, the domestic league players. And here I congratulate the Federation of Uganda Football Association, because they are the ones who manage the league. This tournament, furthermore, made government to invest. And all this was because we wanted our national team to be proud of us hosting the tournament. The investment brought a long-lasting infrastructure gain, most notably in the full renovation of Mandela National Stadium to the CAF standard. Again, another word to underline, to the CAF standard. There's a particular reason why I'm giving those words. There's you having a stadium, but there's a stadium meeting the standards of FIFA and CAF. As I speak now, I meet the standards of CAF for CHAN tournament. Let me be specific. Secondly, because of meeting the CAF standards, the investment were to put in for Chambogo University training pitch. Friends, some of you, if you reach Chambogo today, you might not think that the Chambogo is in Chambogo. And I want to invite Right Honorable Speaker that if you permit this August House, I'm ready to take them for a tour to some of these facilities. The reason why I'm saying this, Madam Speaker, the coach of South Africa, the coach of Algeria, when they moved out of Uganda through their embassies and ambassadors, particularly Algeria, even Morocco, when they came here and left here, they were able to appreciate our facilities as a country. And that I want us to clap for ourselves. Madam Speaker, Fufa Kadiba Stadium, which I thank the Federation, Mutesa Tuwankulukuku Stadium were also upgraded with the modern facilities, leaving Uganda with the improved assets for football tournaments. CHAN 2024 served as a rehearsal for AFCON 2027. And I really want to ask my children up here. The ball now is before you. Because we have 2 years to go for AFCON 2027. Honorable Zake thinks that I'm still young. But I have fairly...
Minister, you're speaking to the Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I want furthermore to say that the tournament acted as a rehearsal for CHAN for AFCON 2027, allowing Uganda to successfully test the organizational systems in logistics, security, accreditation, medical preparedness, ticketing, and funds management. Never did you ever hear that there was a funds breakup in the stadium during the competition. You used to see helicopters parked at the parking of that stadium. All these were in conformity with the CAF standards. The local organizing committee, with about 13 specialized committees under the guidance of CAF, gained valuable experience while over 500 volunteers acquired practical skills in events management, building a pool of young Ugandans who are mobilized for the future tournaments. Economically, the tournament stimulated businesses, opportunities, job creations for hotel, transport operators, vendors, service providers, procurement for publicity, merchandise, logistics, name them. Friends, this tournament, for the first time, the Entebbe International Airport recorded the highest number of arrivals for the first time ever since the airport was created and was opened. This all came because of the arrivals during the CHAN tournament. Socially, CHAN 2024 strengthened national pride and unity. The Cranes' fighting spirit, coupled with the unprecedented support of over 38,000 fans at Nambole, created a powerful atmosphere that symbolizes Uganda's spirit of passion. And I want to congratulate Alan Okello. Every time he could be able to raise to the occasion, to call upon the fans to rally behind the team. Thank you so much, Alan Okello, for your wonderful spirit. The event also demonstrated the country's ability to provide safe, secure, and peaceful conditions for international events, thanks to the interagency collaboration on security and emergency medical preparedness. Friends, during the tournament, we never ever had any incident within all our teams, among our teams who came here of any security breach or glitch. And I want to confirm, this must be thanked to the leadership of the Interagency Security Coordination Committee. CHAN 2024, according to the CAF President, Dr. Musepa, and I quote, "This has been the most successful CHAN tournament in the history of CHAN competition." I want us to clap for the President of the Confederation of African Football. Madam Speaker, this recognition enhances the reputation as a credible destination for sports tourism and boosts confidence in Uganda's co-hosting of AFCON 2027. In several disbelief meetings, CAF continued to recognize the dedication and tireless efforts of the local organizing committee from Uganda. They appreciated the infrastructure at Nambole and all training features. My right honorable Speaker and honorable members, as I conclude, CHAN 2024 has left Uganda with a renovated world-class infrastructure facility, operational on how to handle these key tournaments, strengthen institutions, enhance human capital, economic benefits for our people, and above all, made the country to be united under one spirit of supporting the Uganda Cranes. The Uganda Cranes' historic performance is therefore not just football story, but also a testimony of resilience, determination, unity of purpose that defines Ugandans. It is a national achievement because it elevated the image of our country in a continental football and reaffirmed Uganda can indeed compete in the highest level, thus deserving this highest recognition at the August House. Madam Speaker, as I sum up, the HED President and the Minister of Education and Sports have this evening organized a dinner for the national team, the Uganda Cranes, at State House in Entebbe, beginning at 6 p.m. to recognize the outstanding performance during this tournament. I want to say the 2.4 billion is no longer a word for me and the country, is now a word which is within the accounts of the individual players and the entire team which participated. This evening, the President will be able to show the world what he has done. And Madam Speaker, on a special note, on behalf of the people of Ngariam, as a certified hustler, let me thank you for this initiative. I wish you all the best. I say all this for God and my country.
Thank you.
Glory to Uganda Cranes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As the person who delivered the message, I'm also happy that the boys are now smiling. I am very happy that I did not deliver air. Thank you. The motion will be seconded by the FUFA president first. Those are his boys. Can I have an order from those ones?
Right, Honorable.
Honorable Magogo, just a minute before you make your statement, can the minister lay on table my gift, the gift of Parliament, not mine?
Madam Speaker, I would have loved my brother Salongo.
There are two. One will be laid by you and one will be laid by Salongo.
So I want my brother Salongo to decide which one is going to lay. Then so,
for
Madam
you lay the T-shirt because you're not a ball person.
Madam Speaker, allow me officially open up this T-shirt which was, and it is going to go on record, as a replica jersey, which our national team, the Uganda Cranes, used during the Chan tournament 2024. Can I request that this picture is taken, Salongo, come closer. There's a reason why I want him to come closer. So, Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on table a yellow jersey for the Uganda national team. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Thank you. No, that was our official jersey, yellow. Yes, Honorable Engineer.
Right, Honorable Speaker, may I also...
Members, it is only football that brings everybody together. Irrespective of politics, religion, we are all one when it comes to Uganda Cranes.
Right, Honorable Speaker, may I also take this opportunity to lay on table the Zakayo ball. Yeah, that's the official name, Zakayo, and under the brand Janzi, which is owned by the Federation of Uganda Football Association. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's lay.
Right, Honorable Speaker, and dear members of Parliament, I would like to add my voice to the Minister in thanking His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for the support. Because when we mooted this idea of hosting Chan and AFCON, we went to him, and within a blink he accepted to do two roles for us. First of all, to align all the government apparatus to support the bid, but also to talk to the presidents of the other sister countries to buy into the project. He did not only do that, but he also engaged the CAF president in various calls and meetings to ensure that Pamoja, as we called it, was awarded the rights to host AFCON 2027 and consequently Chan 2024. I also joined the Minister to thank the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sports, and I'm very sure that by the end of this tournament she has learned a lot about football, the terminologies and the meetings she has shared. For us as football, it is advocacy done very well, to the extent that she shared meetings, including Christmas time, to ensure that things are done well. Not only sharing meetings, not only guidance, but also attendance to the matches and also prayers. Instead of thanking, I also thank the Honorable Minister of State for Sports for his personal effort. We had so many meetings, sometimes getting home extremely late to ensure that the facilities are ready, and he did not tire to ensure that all doors of the different government offices are opened. Thank you so much, the Honorable Minister. I also take the opportunity to thank yourself, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, in your capacity as the Speaker, but also in your personal capacity, because on a number of occasions we needed you, especially to bridge to the CAF President, sometimes to the President, and you are very available. You also did not stop at that, but you checked on the team and gave them encouraging words, and of course delivering that wonderful message of the 1.2 billion Uganda shillings per win that motivated the players for the kind of performance that we achieved. We also thank the Deputy Speaker because he was engaged. He led the team that went to present the bid. It wasn't easy, but with his support and presence, we were able to pull off the bid. Right Honourable Speaker and members of Parliament, I want to use this opportunity to thank the members of Parliament for your support that you have given us as the House, because whatever we have presented here, whatever we brought here, was passed without any question. Thank you so much. And all I can say is that may the Almighty God help you come back to the 12th Parliament of Uganda. At this moment, I also want to thank the CAFU president, because personally he did a lot to ensure that East Africa, because East Africa was not ready. It was going to be the first time for us to host, but it needed his personal effort to appreciate that we are part of Africa. And indeed, at the end of the day, like it has been mentioned, CHAN 2024 has come out to be one of the most and best organized CHAN competitions in the history of CAF. The staff and the other members of CAF, we thank them, but I also want to take the opportunity to thank the local organizing committee chaired by the Minister of Education and Sports, the First Lady, for the work done to organize the event. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the security agencies, particularly SFC, for the support they gave. Because for the third time at our events, there was free access without any hassle at the entrances, and the Ugandans are very, very happy for the support that was provided. Right, Honourable Speaker and members, this brings a challenge that the moment the CHAN competition was finished and we went back to organizing other competitions, we went back to our usual organizations where we use particularly the Uganda Police to be able to provide security. And we have gone back to challenges where fans struggle to access the stadium. I want to use this opportunity to call upon the respective officers to ensure that we need the support for Ugandans to be able to access the stadium and to be able to go and reach home with their property without them being attacked on their way going back home. Right, Honourable Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank the FUFA executive and the staff for the work they have done. That we do not get here by chance. We have gotten here by a lot of planning and a lot of hard work. And please, we need to respect the work they have done and thank them, because without them, some of these innovations may not have seen light. I also want to thank the coaches, Coach Morebie Kwaso, and the entire coaching staff supported by our supervising coach, Mr. Paul Put, for the work you've done. The Ugandans are now very happy with the style and the quality of football that the team is exhibiting. It's very entertaining. We really want to take this opportunity to thank you so much. I remember in the beginning, it was a slow start when we lost to Algeria, and the head coach had very many questions to answer, but we continue to say that we will do well going forward, and we were able to turn around the wheel, and today we are being recognized and thanked by the Parliament of Uganda. Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the players, the gallant players, who fought for the country, who fought for the badge, who fought for the flag. I think we need a big round of applause for the players, particularly because they are the soldiers who go on the front line. They are the ones who score the goals. They are the ones who give us the kind of happiness that we received. Right, Honourable Speaker, it would be unfair for me to conclude without thanking the fans of the Uganda Cranes. Another big round of applause. The fans of the Uganda Cranes, stand up. The fans of the Uganda Cranes, may we give them a standing ovation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to...
Honourable Magogo, when you're in this house, it is only me who has powers to tell anybody to stand up. So
right,
you do
Speaker,
not have those powers.
I've not borrowed your powers, and but it's excitement of what the fans did, because we had full house for all the matches that Uganda Cranes played in Mandela National Stadium,
including the First Lady.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I also want to take this opportunity to inform the August House and the entire country that this is the highest level that this team has reached. And some of the players who have performed very well in this team, this is a team composed of players who are playing in the domestic competitions in the clubs that are domiciled in Uganda. But some of these players, as we speak, out of their performance from CHAN, have gone on to be part of the senior national team, the Uganda Cranes, and have also delivered and performed. The 2 goals we scored against Somalia in the World Cup qualifiers were scored by players from Chan, and that's Jude Semugabi, who is in the house today, and Alan Okello, who is also in the house today. It means that this was a successful competition, because the objective of this competition is to give the home-based boys an opportunity to be able to be seen and also to be considered for the senior team when our players playing outside the country eventually come to play for the team. Rhino, I want to conclude by raising an issue that these players come from clubs. When we invite them to the national team, where they have grown up, where they have been identified, where they live every day, is within the football clubs in the country. Today, as we speak, club football in Uganda does not have the financial resource required to ensure that these players are fed well, are trained well, sleep well, and get motivated well. What happens is that the countries we compete with on the African continent, this competition like Algeria, Ethiopia, and others, their respective governments are directly funding and supporting these clubs for them to be able to finance and fund these boys so that by the time they come to the competition, they are ready to compete on a leveled ground. We lost some of our key players who would have been part of this team just before the competition because they had to join leagues outside Uganda for them to make a living. And they were joining leagues. For example, Denso Medi went to Rwanda. Denso Chiganda also went to Rwanda because the clubs there, supported by the state, are paying much higher than the Ugandan clubs. It is therefore important that before we see these players in the senior national team, and we call them our boys, and we ask where they are sleeping, and we make them ours, we should understand that there is work which is supposed to be done in the clubs, and these clubs are being run by private sector people using their personal resources, many of them, and indeed as a country, if we are to go and compete and qualify even to bigger competitions, we need to support the sector, just like all other private sector players are being supported by government as part of the socio-economic transformation. Right on, our speaker, I want to conclude by saying that as a country we benefited. The Honorable Minister has talked about what we benefited. I don't want to repeat that, but Uganda's visibility on the continent. I was moved when I heard clips of television programs in many African countries discussing our players and their performance. I think this gives Uganda visibility, and there's nothing like you have rightly said, right, Honorable Speaker, that brings us together like football does in this country. At the matches, I saw members of parliament from both sides of this house supporting, jumping, hugging because of the performance of the Uganda Cranes. I would be challenged to name another event or activity that would bring together Ugandans the way the Uganda Cranes and particularly football does. I want to conclude by thanking everybody I may not have mentioned that probably made a contribution to this. And it's a learning curve where we have not done very well as a local organizing committee, where there have been some mistakes as a federation. Please, we learn from hosting such competitions, and I believe by the time we do AFCON 2027, we will have a better competition. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. You've heard the players market the country, and these players come from clubs. That now takes us to our third prayer. Honorable Minister will amend the third prayer that we should be able as government to fund the clubs. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay? The ayes have it. Minister, do you have anything to say?
Madam Speaker, the President of the Federation was part of the meeting in State House where the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sports and His Excellency the President called during that time during of the CHAN competition. The President did indicate that he would interest government to look at on how some of these clubs could be supported by government. I thank all of us here as who have agreed. My role and your role is now to support this investment, which the Minister of Education and Sports actually has pledged through the Federation to have a meeting with the clubs. And I am happy this afternoon, I am going to raise this matter in the dinner, which we will be able to have in Entebbe before the President and the Honorable Minister of Education and Sports. But Madam Speaker, I have no objection to the amendment of the motion.
And include the proposal in the next BFP.
Madam Speaker, most obliged.
Process.
Most obliged.
Thank you. Honorable Basalirwa and then Solo. All of you will speak. Then we have another president.
Right on, Speaker, I want to thank you. And
Members, let's use 2 minutes.
Okay. Right on, Speaker, I want to thank you. And I stand to support the motion moved by the Minister and supported by the Honorable Magogo. Right on, Speaker, we are all excited by the performance of the Uganda Cranes. There's no doubt about that. I am fortunate, right on, Speaker, that I watched all the games in Nambole with my father and mother. Yes. No, the wives didn't come. But my radio speaker, as you are aware, my father and mother are #1 fans of the Uganda Cranes. So every game, they would come from Bujiri and would watch. So I want to thank this parliament.
His mother is actually the chairperson of NRM, Bugiri Municipality. Yes.
Yeah, that is her problem. It is not my problem. Because right on, Speaker, my mother has been in those things. By the time I came of age, she was already there. Each time I ask her, when are you leaving? She says, I will leave when I want, which is really not very good. But right on, Speaker, away from that, I want in a special way to thank this parliament. This parliament here, right on, Speaker, especially the parliament that you are presiding over, has played a critical role in promoting the sports subsector in this country. You recall when we had an old sports law, it was this parliament that took the initiative, the Honorable Magoga and myself, with the support of the minister, that moved, and the shadow minister here, that moved to have a new sports law that in effect has professionalized sports in this country. So, as we appreciate everybody, as chairperson of the Parliamentary Sports Club, I want to first appreciate and recognize this House for the enormous contribution you have made towards the sports subsector, and I know history will be written on all of us for being very critical and developmental in as far as the sports sector is concerned. Number two, right on, Speaker, I want to thank the technical team, Coach Mole Byekwaso and the team. They have now understood the type of football that Ugandans want. And that's exactly what they are doing. It's the reason why, right on, Speaker, fans are going to watch the Uganda Cranes, because they are playing the football that Ugandans want. I want in a special way to thank you, to recognize you, to appreciate you. If you were playing another type of football, I'm telling you, we would not be coming to the pitches. Ugandans want football where we are attacking and we are scoring, and the excitement comes. That is precisely what we are doing. So, Coach Mole Byekwaso and the team, I want to thank you so much for the kind of football we are playing, and the players for adopting to that kind of football. Right on, Speaker, I know most of these players, because me, I watch the local leagues. So I know the Joel Mutakubwas, the Alan Okelos, Joel Serunjoji, Torach, Marvin Kizito, that one is KCC, Usama. I know Alan Okelo, Mpande, I know Judy Semugabi, who plays like me. Eh? Exactly, if you have seen me play, I know these players. So they have adopted to the type of football that our coaches have done. So we want to appreciate. Let me also appreciate FUFA and the local organizing committee for creating technology in sports. We now have online tickets, and Ugandans are now appreciating that football is shifting. Because, Right Honourable Speaker, I was here and some colleagues were looking for physical tickets. And I kept advising them, tickets are now online. So, and I'm sure that this kind of technology and revolution that we are witnessing will go ahead, and we have to adopt. So the fact that we are witnessing online, the technology, we are purchasing tickets online, is a kind of revolution that I think shows that we are not moving backwards, but we are moving forward. Right Honourable Speaker, in a special way, I want to recognize and thank the local organizing committee, especially for the hospitality. Honorable Florence Nachuala there, Edgar Watson, Mtege, and your group, Mugisha, we want to thank you. If you, I happen to have been to the World Cup in Qatar with the minister here. The kind of hospitality that was exhibited here is far much higher than what we witnessed in Qatar, and is here, he can tell you. So I'm sure countries will come to benchmark with us here on matters of hospitality. And I'm talking about hospitality in its totality. So I want to thank the local organizing committee for what we witnessed. Right Honourable Speaker, it is important that now we have infrastructure that we are proud of.
Can we have order?
We have infrastructure, Right Honourable Speaker, that we are proud of as a country. And I'm glad that even other countries are now coming to play in our pitches. That in itself, there is no way we are going to develop sports if we don't have the infrastructure. As I conclude, we want to thank this parliament, to thank government, to thank FUFA, Right Honourable Speaker, under the able leadership of the Honourable Hashim Moses Magogo Isabidi, for the developments that we are witnessing, especially in the areas of the infrastructure and the rest. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to appeal to government and FUFA. As we engage CAF, there are issues that we are accustomed to. I know there were many protocols that we had between the government of Uganda and the CAF related to branding, related to advertising and the like, and the limitations. We want to call for more flexibility and more involvement of local companies in these processes. Right Honourable Speaker, there was a very big concern that local companies were not fully involved, but we knew where the problem came from because of the strict CAF protocols. So in future, we must engage the CAF administration so that there is more involvement of the local players in that sense.
Thank you.
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm also, through you as the patron of the Parliamentary Sports Club and the President, I am inviting the Parliamentary Football Club to have a friendly match with these people here as one of the ways of integrating ourselves. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
I don't want my members of Parliament to lose their legs. No, we will not allow that. We will not allow that. Honourable Solo, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to join this House and the country to thank the Uganda Cranes Chan team for reaching such a milestone. I want to thank every person involved so that the country hosted such a big tournament. Right Honourable Speaker, the FUFA President who brought this idea to the East African region, the local organizing committee, but most especially, Right Honourable Speaker, the Shadow Minister for Sports. Because everything has been there in Israel. Right Honourable Speaker, this Chan tournament helped the country very much. It unified us all. From the northern side, from the eastern side, all the country was together and represented by both the players and the fans. So I think as a country, we are happy in that moment. And the boys played well, especially in the white jersey. They scored many goals.
So there is equity.
So
there is equity in sports.
Somehow. So I request them next time to wear the red jersey. They will score very many goals. Next time we'll see, all right, Honorable Speaker. As we appreciate the achievements we got, right, Honorable Speaker, allow me to mention a few challenges that would help us as we are going to host CHAN 2027, AFCON 2027, so that we can work upon them to have a fabulous tournament. Right, Honorable Speaker, the marketing issue of this tournament. Remember, we brought that issue here, and we got money when we were towards the tournament. So the country didn't feel that feel we wanted as a country. I think next time we need to plan more and deal with the professionals. I remember the opening ceremony, which was in Kollo. The ball I saw was the Premier League ball. The anthem that were sung there, they were for FIFA World Cup. So I think next time, Honorable Minister, when you are organizing such a ceremony, you need to involve the professionals that know football more. And we also needed an opening ceremony at the pitch at Nambole, because football is not played in Kollo, but is played in Nambole. Right, Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the initiative for the presidential pledge. We are very happy, and I know my boys, the boys are also happy. I saw one of the players, Nicholas Mwere from Jinja, is already looking around for land to buy. But we ask the president, let this man not be taxed. Let these boys...
Honorable, that money is not taxed.
That's great. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Taxed.
That was a very big concern. As I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to emphasize the issue of local football investors. Right Honorable Speaker, people who run these football clubs and other sports, for boxing and others, they get this money from their pockets. So I want to call upon, maybe you have a policy where all investors here, maybe international or local, they have to put a certain percentage in
it
football. It
shouldn't
club.
be all. You should not have a briefcase football team and you say government is going to fund. It is going to be selected ones.
Not a club, but Right Honorable Speaker, in Ethiopia, every company in the country has to be affiliated to any sports club, be either football, netball, or boxing, to get an investment license. I think that will help us more to see that these clubs grow and we get more and more players.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to refer you to the Sports Act. There is a provision for the incentives. And as we prepare the taxes for the next financial year, we should bring that on board. Yes. President.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am speaking on behalf of the Federation of Motorsports Clubs of Uganda, and we would like to send our congratulations to the Uganda Cranes for the performance which they did during CHAN. As a fellow member of a sports fraternity, I want to send a special congratulations to the team. It is a great honor to put on your national jersey and represent your country. It is humbling, it is a privilege. Whether red, yellow, white, blue, green, you are there as a national. And all of us, as Ugandans, appreciate when Uganda succeeds. At least from my point of view, when Uganda is winning, we are winning. When Uganda is showcasing, we are showcasing. All of us. It is not a partisan issue, it is a national issue where we must support our athletes and help develop them to the next level. On motorsports, I have had the privilege of representing the country both on the track but also here on the floor of Parliament. Last year we sent a team to Morocco and we came back with second. During the occurrence of CHAN, we were in Zimbabwe and Uganda emerged third overall. Madam Speaker, the young lady which Parliament took up was able to defend her position as the junior champion for another year. So I'd like to congratulate you, Madam Speaker, for the support given to this young athlete who is carrying the Uganda flag. I would also like to extend my support and congratulations to the technical team, because a lot on sports is preparation. It is almost 90% preparation.
Switch on.
And then the game is now where the coaches, the managers, the technical people, you're sitting on the edge and you're only lending your support to the young people who are carrying our flag on the pitch. So it is a heavy burden on them, but I want to congratulate the technical side, the professional side, on helping developing this character in these young people to be able to carry our flag further. Lastly, I would like to, through the minister and also the president of FUFA, send my apologies. I will not be able to attend the dinner today. I wanted to attend. Let it be clear. I wanted to attend as FMU, but due to a busy schedule, I have not had the chance of having my COVID, so I do not want to go and be turned away. But I am in total support of national sports and what FUFA has done.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Olympian. Let's first start with people who know football, who know sports. Honorable Achon.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I think we are all excited. There's nothing much we are going to do. And I would like to add my appreciation and congratulations to our teams, Uganda. I think I'm speaking some of you, when I won my first gold medal, some of you were not born. In 1996, I was 18 years old, the greatest man who won the medal with borrowing shoes. I think your coaches know. Honorable Speaker, sports is one of the major highly paid institution in the world, if we know. And I would encourage my colleagues and you, the players, let us encourage our children and let us encourage our friends, our brothers. If you look at other countries who are investing in sports, I think the entire country or the town is changed. For example, in Kenya, we have Eldoret for men for athletics. And I would urge you, this country to encourage and also to continue building more stadiums. And I'm appreciating the country, mostly the president of this country, His Excellency President Museveni, for investing in sports. In my time, Honorable Speaker, we would receive $100 for in full 4 years training for Olympics. But I'm so grateful for His Excellency coming up paying each wins to be given 1.2 billion and appreciating. And sometime I'm wishing if I would rewind my age. But nonetheless, I'm still thanking this parliament. I think since I joined this parliament, we already made a huge improvement in sports in this country. Our children are getting allowances. Our sports, we are constructing stadiums. There are so many things happening, Honorable Speaker. And I'm advising these young athletes, the token that you receive is a peanuts. It's very little money. It's nothing. I'm 48 years old, but my contract still paying me until I go to heaven. Even my children, they pay their school. Some are being paid before they are born. So I'm encouraging you to play more and more. You shouldn't give up. Be humble, and you must know God and believe in yourself. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Bua Angura. I am coming to all of you. Angura, this one takes players out of the country.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me also take this opportunity to congratulate our gallant sons, congratulate the organizing committee, both local and Chan, to congratulate the managers. As you're aware, Madam Speaker, the support you've extended to us as Festoweb has enabled us get players out of the country. They are now in various clubs, and I know the contacts have already been received by our technical teams, and this will be a very big boost when it comes to the main competitions coming ahead. So all I want to say to these young gallant sons of ours, here I speak on behalf of Festoweb. You are aware of the many players, your colleagues who are out. You're aware of Alan, you're aware of Irimbabazi, and many others. As I speak to you now, next week we are receiving 3 coaches coming from abroad who are excited by the good performance that you exhibited. You never know, you might be one of those who are going out, and we shall be glad to position you where you want to be out there. So, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you once again. Let's continue to support them, and for the support you're giving us, continue to raise up the flag, give us more support. We have opened the doors, and it will be the sky will be the limit for the Ugandan athletes here, both football and also other sporting opportunities. We have scholarships now that are coming up from various universities. Already, as I speak to you, 5 are going to universities in the US because of their athletic performances. So, Festoweb will be partnering with you, and I want to thank the Federation for the support you always keep giving us. We are utilizing these opportunities for the good of the young ones here and the country at large.
Thank you, Honorable Mbayo. She used to be a very good netballer.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me join the rest of the colleagues in paying tribute to the Uganda Crane for the outstanding performance. And Right Honourable Speaker, I used to think that football is for the huge, tall, and giant. But when I saw Uganda Cranes play, I appreciated the people who scouted the talents of these handsome boys that have managed to hold the Uganda flag high. I want to thank H.E. the President of Uganda, Mama, the Minister for Education, the coaches, and all the stakeholders who have enabled this team to get all this far. This team brought us all on board. I'm not a fan of football, but this time round, I got involved in football, and I was only concerned for the dates when Uganda Cranes was playing. And the time when Uganda Cranes played with South Africa, I think that is when I was more excited. I saw the boys play, I saw Uganda high, and I really appreciated the talents that these young boys exhibited. I want to end by urging the young boys out there to continue flying the Uganda Crane high and high.
Thank you. We have a very limited time. The boys have to go to State House. Yes, Elder. Motion? You have a motion? After the elder.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. For the record, I played for Northern Uganda in the 60s under coach Peter Abe. My teammates were Perry Okech, David Oti, even the late David Obua were in the Northern Uganda team together. Also for the record, in 1965, yours truly, James Baba, was the 3rd fastest man in Uganda. I wore the Uganda badge for the first All-Africa Games in Congo-Brazzaville. My teammates were Omolo, Odongo Duka, and many others. But here I'm to congratulate the young men and the coaches for the wonderful display they performed. The journey for your championship going forward is now on. You are soon going to be the champions of football all over Africa and in the world. As Julius has said, Honorable Julius has said, sports is a money maker. Aim to be professionals. Be in Arsenal, be in Manchester United, be in my team Liverpool. You'll earn tons of money. You'll earn tons of money. But my main message is to Minister Honorable Peter Ogwang. Thank you for all the work you have done. Let's do 3 other things. 1, talent sporting. Establish an institution for talent sporting among the clubs, among the institutions, to bring up these young men, and put up an academy where they can be trained to become real professionals, like you have done in the sports sector. 2, scale up the building of stadiums. Keep close.
Okay, a minute.
Keep close to the First Lady. Let's scale up stadiums. We in West Nile were waiting for Injikuru Stadium, like you have started in Lango and elsewhere.
In Zikuru.
Lastly, the incentives for players must continue apart from supporting the clubs. Let these young men and boys be paid some money at every tournament they play so that they can continue to be encouraged. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, looking at the excitement of both houses.
Your acting LOP wants to...
Okay, yes.
Now the LOP has come.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you and receive my spirit with open hands. But mine is to congratulate the Cranes and the management for the sterling performance and for doing Uganda and us proud. In fact, even with that narrow exit, with the narrow loss that you made to Senegal, you did it with pride. And I was keenly watching. Madam Speaker, I want also to appreciate the investment that has been made on the sports infrastructure. But what is remaining is also to improve the ecosystem that develops players. And we are lacking in many aspects as far as the ecosystem is concerned. Of course, it includes good accommodation, it includes nutritional feeding, and name it, Madam Speaker. The rest speaks for itself. The online ticketing, Madam Speaker, was a blessing. I had been one who was scared of watching football at Nambole because of the crowding, because of the stampedes. But the online ticketing this time around was a huge blessing, and I must salute it, and the initiative must be kept up. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and to appreciate Honourable Nambeshe for holding fort, and also join colleagues in congratulating the Uganda Cranes on the stellar performance we have seen thus far. They've been putting up very good shows. Also to thank the people of Uganda for showing up in droves each time the Cranes have got a match. It's an incredible thing. We meet there, all forms of colors, all tribes, and so on. Sports is an interesting thing. It unites us. You know, at that point, I forget that Major Ramirama here is my political opponent, and we get to support and vouch for the Uganda Cranes. Hopefully, we get to do that continuously. Honourable Speaker, we often make a case for the growth, development of sports infrastructure. We want to remind government to do this a lot more. it is important that our young people who are talented get to have a platform, get to have space to grow these talents. That's why we always emphasize these issues. Let's develop infrastructure for sports. That's the only way we shall get to have stars. Across, by the way, whether it be in soccer, sometimes we overemphasize soccer, and that's okay because people love it, but there's other sports disciplines too. Athletics, boxing, basketball, netball, etc., etc. We need to look at an all-round kind of situation regarding sports. I saw the promise that was made to the Uganda Cranes that each win they'll get 1.2 billion
It is
shillings.
not a promise, it is now reality.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
I'm glad it has been fulfilled. I hope it has. Because for a very long time, these sports personalities...
Honorable Senyoy, you're hearing from the head of legislature.
And I am appreciative
that it has been fulfilled.
That's a good thing. Because in the past, people would be promised, and then you see them coming to the media. There's a time in Zikuru 1, and they promised her a house. Every year she would be coming to the media saying, my house has not come yet. So it's important that when we promise, we fulfill. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, can we buttress the lives of these stars, not just at the time they are playing? So it's good they get to be promised when you win 1.2 billion shillings. But can we take care of their welfare even away from that? Because it's a process. By the time they get to where they are to play and win, it's been an entire process. Let's support them through the process and not wait for the final time when they have matches and then they're under pressure. We have got 1.2 billion shillings to win. But previously, you find they probably were struggling to go training because of numerous issues, yeah? So let's support all of that.
Thank you.
And the sports minister should be happy I'm saying these things because many times he comes here, makes a case and says, give me more money. And then Parliament will give him some and not all. So let's avail to them what they require and then we hold them accountable. That's very important. The stadia that are being built want accountability so that this money is put to very good use. Very finally, Right Honorable Speaker, I saw something that perplexed me. It's good the Minister of Sports is here. He will respond to this. The standards. Because sports, like all other sports disciplines, soccer, there are standards. We were dumbfounded when we saw on the news the hotel facility at which the Uganda Cranes were staying, somewhere in Kisasi, the road to the hotel, not very accessible. I'm told the bus would stop somewhere, then they alight to access the hotel. Our opponents were staying at good 5-star hotels. I think we can afford for our stars to stay at good facilities. If we can afford to give them 1.2 billion shillings per win, then we can afford to put them in a good place where they are safe. But if they have to jump out of the bus to access, the place where they are staying, that speaks of insecurity, it speaks of discomfort. Can we address these very critical concerns, Honorable Minister? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister. And the ones who were staying at a 5-star hotel, did they reach where we reached?
Madam Speaker, first of all, let me begin by congratulating the Leader of Opposition for the questions and the pertinent issues he has raised. To begin with the latter, all teams which were competing during the CHAN tournament were taken care of by the Confederation of African Football, including Team Uganda. I want to repeat in affirmative. As a country, there were certain items which CAF agreed to take care of them. Number one was the accommodation, transportation of teams in the countries of the competition and exiting the country of the competition. So for the hotel which the team was staying, that hotel was certified by CAF. Let me also go on record on that because it is them who are the owners of the competition. Secondly, as country Uganda, we did facilitate the team for preparation of the competition. But when it came for time for the competition, CAF took over, not only Uganda, but South Africa, Niger, Guinea, and Algeria. I hope I've answered that question. Now, the other additional infrastructure, for instance, the roads. As of now, if some of you have observed, we are already beginning to prepare for AFCON 2027. For purposes of roads in areas where, in our considered opinion, are prime for this particular competition, those are the roads which government is going to work on. And that particular road, I want to say, it is in the...
Case is here. Switch on.
It's one of the roads which is in the Kampala Capital City Authority Management. And I don't know, Right Honourable Speaker, it might even be in the constituency of Honourable Leader of Opposition. It is Kawempe. However, I also want to interest us. Let us look at the master plan under the Kampala Metropolitan Development Roads structure. It is there, those roads are there. The other issue which I again want to mention here is the question of welfare of the former national players. Right Honourable Speaker, we have the law here under the National Sports Act. I want to interest Parliament that this law gives us Minister of Education and Sports, Minister of Finance, to see what incentives we can do. When we were looking at that law, we were looking at, for instance now, the superstars before us here. The very law can give us, if you give me money, I can be able to give them beyond what they have received. That's already taken care of. The other one which I want to thank Honorable Baba and actually Lope. When we talk about facilities, the current regime of the infrastructure we're doing is for multi-sport. It's not only football. When I build a stadium like now Nambole, I want to redevelop Nambole to include other additional facilities, including indoor games. I want to develop Lugogo to have indoor games. I want to Hoima, as I speak now, as a provision for an indoor games, which talk about all indoor games. Akiba Olympic Stadium has provision for all indoor games. Why are we doing this? It's for purpose of talent identification and development as a country. So colleagues, we are on course. Now, are we going to continue working on this infrastructure?
Thank you. Yes, Minister.
It's part of the plan of the NRM government to provide these state-of-the-art stadiums in all regions of Uganda.
Thank you.
I thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, you're done? Okay. Prime Minister.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I first apologize for coming in. At this time, I was in Munyonyo, where we have a ministerial regional meeting concerning higher education. I was in charge of chairing and chairing it. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to congratulate the Uganda Cranes for participating and reaching at that level whereby they made us proud that they reached the quarterfinals. We thank you so much and we are proud of you. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Uganda Railways, that is Ministry of Works, for providing the line that was taking these people from town to Nambole. They made it easy for them, and at least there was the congestion was not so much. Right Honorable Speaker, the government is supported. The government is committed to supporting the sports, and it has been evident that in every budget that we come up with, the sports program or the sports have been given the money. We've given the money to them as Parliament and as government. I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for fulfilling the pledge of 1.2 billion for each win. And I know His Excellency, the President, this evening is still inviting these people for a get-together, and he's showing the youngsters that we are proud of you, and is in full support of such of the sports. Right Honorable Speaker, government is building more stadiums in the country. We have Lida, we have Hoima, and others that are coming up. We know all that is support from government. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you, together with the Parliament of Uganda, for providing the jersey for this team, which were laid here in the House. This is, you led it, and many people are proud of you, because as a woman, you've shown what sports is in the country. So by laying these jerseys here, and by talking to the Parliament to contribute to that, it was a sign of support, and we know that young team is also proud of our Speaker. I want to thank you so much for God and my country. We are still looking forward to see you doing more and more, and reaching even the finals. I thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Upon the successful accomplishment of CHAN, and remember, CHAN is a precursor to AFCON, as an institution responsible for accountability, appropriation, and oversight. We will ask the Auditor General to give us a special audit on how much we have spent on CHAN, for us to be able to plan better for AFCON. And we want this report in the House by 30th of October. This will help this institution for us to know how much we spent and how much we should spend more. I now put a question that this House pays a glowing tribute to the Uganda national football team, the Uganda Cranes, for their outstanding performance at the 2024 African Nation Championship. With amendments, those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. So we'll extract the resolutions and forward it to the relevant authorities or institutions. Honorable members, the youngsters here want a picture with us. We'll suspend the House for 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Oh, no problem. How we doing? No.
Next item. Honorable members, in the public gallery, we have teachers and pupils from New Heritage Nursery and Primary School from Pade. They are represented by Honorable Okot Santa and Honorable Achiro Pascamenya. You're most welcome.
Item 3 on the order paper. Statements by Minister. 3.1. Statement by Minister on Name a Rhino, Save a Rhino campaign, 22nd September 2025, Ziwa Sanctuary, Nakasongola District.
Honorable members, as you may be aware, in 1980, Uganda suffered the extinction of the rhino. This had a negative effect on our wildlife conservation efforts. Since then, there have been efforts to reintroduce the white rhino in the wild. I am aware the government, together with the local and international partners, have made considerable strides to this effect. Today we will receive an update from the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities on the recent development. And pursuant to Rule 54 of the Rules of Procedure, I now want to invite the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to present his statement.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. The statement will be brief since it's just an information paper, but Honorable, I want to thank you for the support and for really naming a rhino on behalf of Parliament. Kira, I want to thank you, Right Honorable, for supporting this cause. Right Honorable, on the 22nd of September 2025, Uganda will host its first rhino naming ceremony at Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary in Nakasongola District. The ceremony will mark a major milestone in the ongoing Name a Rhino campaign, a 5-year, $11 million fundraising effort launched last year to secure and expand Uganda's rhino population. Individuals, corporates and philanthropists will be offered the unique opportunity to symbolically adopt and name a rhino, with the proceeds directly funding habitat expansion, veterinary care, anti-poaching measures, and community conservation programs. This will be a celebration of how far we have come from extinction in the world in the 1980s, and you've rightly said this, Right Honorable, to now having 48 rhinos in Uganda, including 46 at Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary, and there are 2 at the wake at the zoo. The naming ceremony is an opportunity for individuals and organizers to leave a lasting legacy by naming one of 17 calves and juveniles while directly supporting rhino conservation. Right Honorable Speaker, rhinos were once widespread in Uganda, but poaching and habitat loss drove them to extinction in the 1980s. Since 2006, the breeding program at Ziwa has seen 40 southern white rhinos born from an initial founder population of 6. And Right Honorable, I want to thank the NRM government, through His Excellency, the President, for bringing stability that has seen these numbers grow to the numbers we are speaking to today. The aim of the Rhino Naming Initiative is to support ongoing breeding, reintroduction of rhinos into the wild, starting with Ajai Wildlife Reserve, and strengthen anti-poaching measures with the focus of habitat protection and community involvement. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the translocation of rhinos to Ajai Wildlife Reserve will connect the West Nile region to the tourism circuit, extend the rhinos range, and bring opportunities to communities through tourism. The first ever rhino naming ceremony is a proud moment for Uganda and a powerful symbol of our commitment to conservation. Rhinos are not only part of our natural heritage, they are an asset that can drive tourism, jobs, and sustainable growth for our communities. This year we take the next bold step by introducing rhinos into Ajai Wildlife Reserve. We call on every Ugandan citizen, and I want to thank you, Right Honorable, for taking lead, company and partner to be part of this legacy. When you name a rhino, you're not just giving it an identity, you are securing its future and the future of conservation in Uganda. The naming ceremony, slated for 22nd, will bring together various stakeholders and mark the beginning of the translocation process. This is more than a naming ceremony, it is a platform to showcase Uganda's commitment to sustainable tourism. Our natural heritage is our competitive advantage, and protecting it ensures that visitors continue to choose Uganda for authentic wildlife experiences. Right Honorable, as I conclude, under the National Rhino Conservation and Management Strategy for Uganda 2018-2028, the country aims to achieve an annual rhino population growth rate of at least 5%. This will be driven by strengthened security, protection and law enforcement, reintroduction and establishment of new population, building national capacity for effective management, and promoting education and awareness of the value of rhino conservation. Uganda Wildlife Authority has put in place a rhino translocation committee to ensure the rhinos are delivered to Ajai before the end of this year. Protecting rhinos is not just about preserving a species, it's about securing our ecosystem, supporting tourism, and creating long-term benefits for local communities, individuals, companies, philanthropists, and global conservation supporters are invited to join the Name a Rhino campaign and help to directly fund rhino protection, habitat expansion, and community benefit projects. Through you, Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to invite all members of Parliament and staff of Parliament to join us at the Name a Rhino campaign on 22nd September 2025 in Nakasongola, but also Name a Rhino. And we've shared the different categories in which each individual member can participate. Thank you, Right Honorable. Right Honorable, you raised a couple of issues. I just requesting for your guidance. The next statement is almost similar to what I'm reading. I would request that maybe I can also just tackle it so that I can respond some of the statements and then
Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
Next.
Item 3.2, statement by Minister on World Tourism Day celebrations, 27th September 2025 in Arua City.
Thank you, Right Honorable. This is about the World Tourism Day that we'll be holding this month. Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda is a founding member of the United Nations World Tourism Organization and participates in the celebrations for the World Tourism Day held annually on 27th September. The UNWTO General Assembly instituted the celebration of the World Tourism Day commencing in the year 1980. This date was chosen to coincide with an important milestone in world tourism, the anniversary of the adoptions of the UNWTO statutes on 27th of September 1970. And Uganda will join the rest of the world to celebrate this on the 27th of September in Arua City under the theme Tourism and Sustainable Transformation. The national event highlights West Nile region's tourism potential and aims to drive socio-economic transformation through sustainable community-driven tourism initiatives. The celebrations will align with the global theme of tourism and sustainable transformation. The event underscores Uganda's commitment to using tourism as a tool of social and economic development. This theme also reminds us that tourism is more than leisure and travel. It is a driver of a long-term change, creating livelihoods, safeguarding cultural heritage, protecting biodiversity, and promoting inclusive growth, hence ensuring that tourism benefits both present and future generations while aligning with global development goals. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, countries all over the world, and Uganda in particular, are increasingly prioritizing tourism as a key part of the national development agenda, and I want to thank government and this Parliament, Right Honorable, for the support they've given to this sector through your leadership. And as a driver of economic growth and inclusive development, creating jobs and well-being for communities, the tourism sector contributes around 5.7% to GDP and employs around 7.2% directly of the total employment as per statistics of 2024 in this country. It is therefore fitting that this year's National World Tourism Day celebrations will take place in Arua in the West Nile region. Arua is a gateway to both domestic and cross-border tourism with its rich cultural heritage, diverse ethnic groups, and untapped tourism potential. By bringing the celebrations to Arua, we want to showcase the tourism opportunities of West Nile region and integrate the region more strongly into the National Tourism Development Agenda. Right Honorable, as we count down to 27 September, the Ministry, together with its agencies and partners, has lined up a series of activities across the country. And they are there. Members can go through. On the 2nd, there was a launch. On the 11th of September, there will be a tourism fraternity, which will be held, the Youth Tourism Conference and Quiz at Arua Core PTC. On Thursday, 18th September, there will be a thematic conference in Kampala, a Rhino naming ceremony on the 22nd of September, and on Wednesday, 24th to Thursday, 25th of September, West Nile students will engage in a competition and cultural dances. Poetry and tourism fraternity will participate in sports and cycling and various other activities at Arua Public School. Then from the 25th to the 27th, there will be an open day park-free access to all national parks for East African citizens. And I want to encourage members of parliament, please, you can mobilize a couple of your voters to access for these 2 days at no cost. Friday, 26 September 2025, Arua City will host a regional tourism forum at La Confidential Hotel in Arua City, and we've invited all members of parliament, both in writing, and I want to see Ryoko the same. Please mobilize people, come and we interact, share ideas, and see how we grow this region in this conference on the 26th. Saturday, 27th, 2025, the main event of the World Tourism Day will be held at Arua City Golf Course. Then we'll have an Explore West Nile campaign from the 28th to the 29th of September. We will have a couple of influencers, celebrities, and various Ugandans shine a light to showcase what this area has to offer. In conclusion, this year's focus on West Nile with Arua City as a host is a demonstration of our commitment to inclusive and regionally balanced tourism development across the West Nile. The promise of tourism is tangible. The region is blessed with unique cultural traditions, vibrant festivals, diverse cuisines, and landscapes of extraordinary beauty. Through you, Right Honorable, I still wish to invite all members of parliament and staff to join us as we celebrate the World Tourism Day. Right Honorable Speaker, you raised a couple of pertinent issues, especially to do with the human-wildlife conflict. I wish to inform this parliament that we are constructing an electric fence in Queen Elizabeth and Maction Falls, and we intend to add an additional 100 kilometers around the Maction Falls, and we've done districts of Noya, Oyam. We are currently doing Bulisa, Kiriandongo, Masindi, and in Kasese we have done Kasese, Kitagwenda, Kanungu, Rubirizi, and we are currently doing Rukonjiri, and we intend to add another 50 kilometers. One of the areas that has been the biggest hotspot, Right Honorable, is the Karenga or the Kidepo Valley Community Wildlife Area. And through a directive from His Excellency the President, but also with support of this Parliament, we are going to start by doing 128 kilometers of the Karenga, thus Karamoja, Kituguma, and the districts around. And we believe that in the next 3-4 years, we should be able to have finished fencing all these protected areas. But Right Honorable, the challenge really has been because of the too much demand and pressure we have put as a population on most of these areas. Most of the elephant corridors have been occupied by communities, and these animals do not forget where they used to go and graze from, even as babies. So they usually tend to trace where probably their parents and so it's something that they have in their memory, but the only solution is really to have them confined, and it is something we are dealing with, plus other interventions to do with compensation and the rest. Your Excellency, the roads, especially in Ajai, that were raised by sorry, Right Honorable Speaker. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Right Honorable Speaker, the issues of the infrastructure, and I want to thank government. In most of the protected areas, there is some good access. And I want to assure the people around Ajai that with the reintroduction of the rhinos, definitely you will see an improvement in infrastructure. Not only by government, but even by the private sector. And that's why it's important that we have this circuit completed, and Ajai is included in the tourism circuit within the country. With those few remarks, I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for your support in the reintroduction of rhinos and your continued support as Parliament to the tourism sector and the support this country has given, because where there is no peace, there is no tourism. And I always tell my brother Senyonyi here that the only way we can sell this country is speaking good about it and selling the good. And Honorable Senyonyi, I want to invite you and the entire team on a 1-week tour around the country so that you share, and the entire Parliament. But you have a free invitation so that... No, on our budget, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. They are obvious. Honourable members, I want to thank the Minister for the report. And what the Honourable Minister says, it is out of the peace and security we have in this country that the animals are able to live. Originally, this animal in 1980, all the animals were killed. The poachers finished them. But because of the peace and security that has been put by the president in this country, these animals are able to live. Because the peace is on the people, but also on the animals, and they are able to multiply. So you must really thank the president for the peace. I am not hearing your hand claps. Honorable Senyonyi, I have not yet picked you. You speak last. A big drum speaks last. Acrobat. And this information is for the paper is for information. You shouldn't really spend time to debate. If you want, you go and attend the function. Function is there, you're all invited, please go and attend it. Yes, and in the opening remarks, we had already discussed about this. So this report is for informative and is going to be in the library. If you want any information, Honorable Martin is not far away.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
There is a motion.
Motion for what, Madam Speaker, when you have picked me?
Right Honourable Speaker, I had issues with the Minister addressing an individual, our LOP. Procedurally, Right Honourable Speaker, I would have sought your indulgence that the Minister addresses us so that you protect our LOP. But Right Honourable Speaker, in light of the fact that this is a self-explanatory statement, I beg to move that the statement be adopted and we go to other business. There is a loan for Bujiri coming up. I beg to move, Right Honourable Speaker, that we adopt this document.
Seconded? Seconded by your Bua. Bua. You're seconding? Anyway, Acrobat, you're seconding?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable members.
I want to second.
Honourable members. Honourable members, I am only going to allow 3 people to speak. This is a straightforward document. We spoke about it when in my communication. There is nothing more to talk about. And if you want, go and attend the function. I will have Acrobat, I will have Emily, I will have Dr. Yume.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want to appreciate the Honorable Minister for the straightforward report and statement regarding the World Tourism Day. However, Madam Speaker, as we plan to celebrate this day, I would like to implore the Honorable Minister to ensure that people still have issues of human animal traffic issues, like in my area, Bundibujo. Animals have been a problem. They have destroyed people's property, crops, and they have never been compensated. So as we celebrate this day, Honorable Minister, I call upon you to ensure that the people on record for being compensated do be compensated. I thank you.
It is human-wildlife conflict. That is what it is. That is the term that is used. So you should be, and the Honorable Minister had already talked about it. We talked about it, the fencing. We provided some money for the fencing of these game parks and the reserves. And maybe, Honorable, what you should look at is the compensation. You should consider it. Emily?
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank the Minister for the two statements. And I also want to thank government and all those that have been involved in the preservation and the conservation of the rhino, the white rhino, to be specific. But there is also the black rhino that was here in Uganda. The last reported black rhino was in 1983, and that was in Kidepo Game Reserve. What is government doing about that? Now that we have made strides on this, I think it is important that we also don't forget about this very important animal that probably could also enhance our tourism. And the other point I wanted to make, Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, is in respect to the human-wildlife conflict. What has been emphasized more are the big animals, the elephants and all that. But when you get back to our communities, you will see many households affected and disturbed by vermins. And these are baboons. And you'll see monkeys roaming. And actually, if you are there, a woman is preparing food, a monkey is coming up to grab, because the habitat for the monkeys and all these animals has been disturbed. I think we need to get a way how we actually support this. And now that we are talking about PDM, I have a county called Kebando in Buyanja East in Kibale district. The biggest problem they have today are vermins, and these are the animals, Minister, under your docket, and you need to get a solution to ensure that our animals, your animals actually in this respect, if I have to consider your ministry, do not disturb our farmers. Our farmers are protected, otherwise they will lose out and it will be a net loss. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Yume.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I'll address the Minister's presentation to three things. The first one is marketing. We are not, as government, giving a lot to marketing our tourism in this country. And it's only when people know about our country and our potential that we'll be able to attract them. The second one, Right Honourable Speaker, I am happy about the white rhinos. And like previous speakers have spoken, that Ajai Game Reserve is the home of the white rhino. So I would really want to see Ministry of Tourism expedite the resettlement of white rhinos in Ajai. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, when it comes to tourism, one area that is novel is medical tourism. And I think Uganda in the next couple of years should be ready to pitch high in terms of medical tourism. Our geopolitical positioning as a country, the capacity we have built as a country, our neighbors, who some of them are lacking in terms of medical potential, we see Uganda as a very big destination for medical tourism. Ours is just to polish and fine-tune it, and it's good the Minister of Finance is here. Once he gives us the resources, we should be able to be a very big destination. No more going to Aga Khan, Nairobi. We should be able to keep all those foreign domestic dollars that are going out in Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you. Kimonges.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I read through the report from the Minister, and it is straightforward. However, we have a problem when it comes to the issue of fencing. To us, the people of Sabei, we are not welcoming the idea of fencing because our issue is different. He knows it. We have an issue with the boundary. We do not know the boundary between the people and the wildlife park. So, for us, we've been requesting and still requesting for resettlement. So that after resettlement, we come up with the permanent boundary, and that's when fencing can take on.
Honorable Kimonges, they will always first open the boundaries before they do the fencing to know where your land stops, where the animal land stops, and where your other land stops. So that will be the first thing. They will not just come and fence and put a fence on where it has not been demarcated. So that is a procedure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
That's a procedure. But you need to find out which land belongs to the game park and which one belongs to the people. You open the boundaries before you do the fencing. Honorable Minister, I am not going to give you people to speak, all of you. This is a smaller paper. It is informative. Yes, let Honorable Minister, let him first respond.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Acrobat on the issue of compensation. I think we've been discussing this. I've been to your area. I've actually shared an approved list with you, just awaiting payment. But I think the issue is also delay in procedure, but these are government procedures before a payment is affected. But we understand the challenges, and we've argued that compensation cannot be the solution. We have to fence so that we resolve this issue once and for all. Honorable Kugonzo, on the issue of the black rhino, it is true, and we are in discussion with our neighbors, namely Kenya and South Africa. They've agreed to donate to us some black rhinos after our success story with the white rhinos. So soon we should be able to have black rhinos in the country, multiply them and reintroduce them into the wild. The issue of vermins usually is an issue we handle with the district. There are people we call the vermin control officers, and they know how to deal with these animals. But in a scenario where it's a big issue, we can come in, and I have picked the area you've mentioned in Chibale. We can discuss more about this and see how we beef up the district team so that we resolve the vermin issue. It shouldn't be a big problem. Honorable Ayume, yes, on the issue of marketing. And I want to thank the government because there is an improvement in the tourism budgets now, even through Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and a couple of interventions to make sure that Uganda is showcased out there as indeed the pearl of Africa. So these are efforts ongoing, and we'll continue coming to government and parliament requesting for more support, because marketing can only be spoken to in terms of the investment you put in. There is no rocket science to it. So we'll continue coming to you for support, but we'll also do what we can with the resources we have. And our figures are clear. Our numbers have been growing every year. The revenues we bring into this country have been growing every year. And I think this shows that some work is being done. And I agree, Uganda is well positioned for medical tourism. And then a couple of discussions that we're having with a number of investors actually who have showed interest. I think at an opportune time we would have this discussion. On the Mount Elgon issue, and we have been to cabinet, it's not only in Mount Elgon, there's an issue that was brought on this floor to do with Mba Tract, where we erroneously gazetted some land. But this is an issue of the law. The law did away with degazation in the Act. And we are in cabinet, we are trying to see how we amend the act so that we resolve some of these conflicts, even around Elgon. There are actually some areas, because in Elgon, there is land that was encroached on a long time ago, and when we were redoing the boundary, we actually gave that land to the community. The only issue is now, we cannot legally degazette it until we amend the act, but the land is already for the community, we have no interest in it. So there are some issues we are handling with the Attorney General and the law, so that to resolve the issues. But we'll, like the Speaker guided, we don't just implement a boundary without proper consultation with the community. So these shouldn't be worrying issues. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
The only clarification I was seeking is in line with the Honorable Chemonge's submission and concern. Because we have a community that has been relocated to almost the center of Mount Elgon National Park, the Bennett. They are living inside there. So if you implemented this fancy initiative, I don't know where you would. There are 30 years they have been in there. You ought to visit them. And in Buruda equally, there is a similar population that has also been relocated to the park. And they have lived there for over 10 years. So these are the challenges that may make it extremely difficult for you to implement the fencing initiative.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, like I said, first of all, this issue is an issue being handled by the Prime Minister's office. I don't want to get into the details of what happened between me and you. We've been to Elgon, we know. Actually, the Bennett were resettled, land was given, but some people actually took the land away from the Bennett, and they did not benefit. It's a challenge we are dealing with. We still believe that there should be a provision for them. We know the affected communities. We know those that need to be. We will see how we resolve the issue. It is. But we are in discussions. But Honorable, as a leader from Elgon, you should also know that we also have challenges with people that are consistently encroaching on the park. It is. But these are issues we are discussing, and we should be able to resolve.
Honorable Minister, mine is similar to the people of Elgon about the boundary. You realize that Pakwach is bordering the park, but there's a water body that separates them. Many times our people, our fishermen are arrested by rangers on the water, and there's no clear boundary. There's not even any effort by government to put a clear boundary as to where fishermen can stop. Right, Honorable Minister, as I speak, I shared with you already, since May this year, 2 of our people, Brian and Boniface, were arrested. We have looked for them in all police cells, we can't find them. And yet they were arrested on the water while fishing by rangers. So we also need boundaries on water bodies that are bordering national parks, so that there's no, this time it's not even human-animal conflict, but human-to-human conflict. I thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, first of all, within the Uganda Wildlife Act, access to resources within the park is allowed. How we do it is the issue, and usually we will do it with the supervision of maybe OWA and with the management of the resources so that they are not depleted. Now, especially in our area, it's a case I need to maybe pick some more interest in and understand better, but usually what we always advise is that when someone is accessing a protected area, they should go through a gazetted point of entry with the proper acceptance from the OWA staff, so that we know what they are doing. Otherwise, if they just enter from any part, then you'll somehow you'll have some poachers get into the park and actually do something else. But it's an issue we can discuss. Fishing should not be stopped as long as we do it in a regulated manner, and we know who is in the park and for what reason. Thank you, Right Honorable. But I'm going to follow up on the matter of you've just raised it with me. We shall see how we conclude the matter. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Honourable members, as I said before, this report is informative. And therefore, you may need to get a copy from the library. But also, Honourable Minister, you need to have time and meet members who are coming from those areas. Get time so that you hear their problems and see how you can be able to resolve them. Some of them you can resolve them without coming to the house. So have time with them. Yes, Honourable Atkins.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. On Thursday, September 4th, 2025, you directed the Minister Chris Wariomusi, to follow up on the disaster waiting to happen at the RDC's compound. As I speak right now, Madam Speaker, I can see all over the Kasese WhatsApp messaging groups, tear gas and live bullets, your fellow citizens being forcefully evicted out of the camp. And yet, this very parliament, in that constitutional chair, Madam Speaker, you directed government to make an undertaking. And I'm meant to understand, at least from what our Minister Wariomusi committed himself to table the same matter and bring it to the attention of Cabinet this Monday. Madam Speaker, I want to know, are we in this very house declaring that the RDC is above the law? We can reduce our constitutional power because everybody, all of us, are under the law. There's nobody above the law, including the RDC. I don't want to believe that this parliament is ready to cede its constitutional power. Madam Speaker, there is a constitutional seat you directed. At this point in time, I was not expecting the RDC to go ahead and use violence and terror on law-abiding and peace-loving citizens.
So what is the procedural issue?
The procedural matter, Madam Speaker, is government committed that they will ensure that this matter is comprehensively brought to the attention of the President, this very Cabinet, this week. And I don't know whether the Prime Minister who is in the House...
No, but the time to discuss that is over. You came late, my brother. You came late.
I didn't come late, Madam Speaker. I didn't come late. I've been in the House.
No.
I've been in the House, Madam Speaker.
I know everybody who is in the House, Honorable Atkins. You came when we were already on debate on other matters. So let's handle that tomorrow. Come early and you raise that issue. Please. It is a concern to all of us. But when you come in the middle of business, then you really distort whatever is happening. And I hope the Hansard people will remove whatever distortions that are in between there. So come early tomorrow, Honorable Prime Minister, be ready to respond to whatever he's saying after my communication.
Speaker, between now, what happens and tomorrow?
Honorable Atkins, that is going to be handled. Just give all the details to the Prime Minister and we sort that out. Let's give the details.
The details right now, Madam?
No. You go and come and give her the details.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Please come and give her the details so that she will come back and respond.
Can I?
They will not give you to speak if I have not given you, Honorable Atkins. No. Next item.
Item 5 on the order
You
paper.
can't cross the floor. You give the message to Sarah. Next item.
Item 5 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to United States dollars 20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa, BADEA, to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bujiri General Hospital.
Honourable members, Article 159(2) of the Constitution requires parliamentary approval for any government borrowing. And on 5th June 2025, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development tabled to this House a request of borrowing and was duly referred to the Committee of National Economy. And pursuant to Rule 59 of Rules of Procedure, I will invite the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to move a motion for the approval of the House. Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, pursuant to Article 159(2) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Section 34 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 162 of the Rules of Procedure, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to approve the proposal by Uganda government to borrow up to US $20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development, BADEA, to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bujiri General Hospital. I beg to move, Right Honourable Speaker.
Seconded by Honourable Sumani, Mouma, Robert, Nekesa. Honourable Honourable Achon, Public Service, Luka, Honourable Minister of Ravirama, Taka, Chemongesi, Singiro, Basil, Grania, Emily, Akiki, Stephen, Avuru, David, Akifensa, Ayume, Josephine, until now I'm not seeing Honourable Atkins and the Prime Minister. Go and sort out your issues. Yes, Veronica, Nifa, Brenda, Elijah, Bududa, JB, Dr. Pea, Aguti, Helen, and Palisa. Speak to your motion.
Madam Speaker, the main goal of the project is to attain a good standard of health for all people in Uganda in order to promote health and productive life. The proposed project aims in general to contribute to the achievements of goal number 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals in the field of good health and well-being, as well as goal number 1 to eradicate poverty to achieve a broad health coverage for the poor, in addition to goal number 3 of the Africa's Agenda 2023 on health and well-fed citizens. The project also aims in particular to support government's policy to 1. Expand and upgrade medical services coverage. 2. Obtain economic and social benefits for patients, employees, business, health, and economy sectors. And 3, contribute to strengthening of the health system and its support mechanisms with a focus on primary health care to achieve a comprehensive health coverage by improving jobs and adequate health infrastructure and logistics at the general hospitals. The project has got 3 main components. One is on infrastructure, where we shall do the following: infrastructure development and improvement. This will target the refurbishment of the hospital to include overhauling of all existing buildings, power and water supply, and external works, giving all existing buildings a new look, and constructing new buildings to create new specialist clinics, increase the ward capacity, establish a functional accident and emergency unit, given that the hospital is on the main highway. Component 2, procurement, supply, and installation of assorted medical equipment, hospital furniture, and transport equipment, according to the medical equipment standard list approved by the National Advisory Committee on Medical Equipment. Component 3 is project management, monitoring, evaluation, and supervision. This component will support the Ministry of Health to carry out regular project management, monitoring, supervision, and evaluation activities to ensure the project is on track, facilitate enforcement of minimum service standards, support partnerships and stakeholder engagements, compensation of project supervising consultants, project implementation unit, and political oversight of the project. I now come to the financing arrangements. The total project cost is US $23 million, of which USD 20 million, 87% of the project cost will be funded by the loan from Badea. The remaining 13% of the total cost, amounting to $3 million will be funded by government of Uganda. The financing terms, loan amount is $20 million. Maturity period is 20 years, including a grace period of 5 years, and the interest rate is 2% per annum on the principal amount of the loan withdrawn and outstanding from time to time. The expected benefits are the following. 1, this intervention will increase the bed capacity of the hospital from 100 bed to 250 bed hospital, and it will be upgraded to a regional referral hospital. I thought Honorable Vasaligo and Agnes would appreciate this strongly. Thank you. 2, increase the staff accommodation from 83 units to 115. Thank you. 3, improved utilization of the hospital due to improved delivery of health services. And 4, increased life expectancy as a result of increased deliveries in health units, reduced maternal mortality, reduced infant mortality, and reduced fertility of accident cases. Madam Speaker, with this justification, I submit the loan to the House for consideration and approval.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. And we now want to invite the Chairperson, pursuant to Rule 162, 4 of the Rules of Procedure, to give us a summary of the recommendations.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Colleagues, honourable members of Parliament, may I beg to lay the report of the Committee on National Economy, on the request by government to borrow up to $20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa, BADEA, to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital. I beg to lay. Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister has given the overall brief about the loan, and as the chair of the committee, I would want to say that this loan is highly concessional. It's meant to rehabilitate, expand, and equip Bugiri General Hospital. Right Honourable Speaker, you referred this loan to the Committee on National Economy, and the Committee on National Economy had an opportunity to interact with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development on this loan, the Ministry of Health, Planning and Economic Development, the local leaders from Bugiri General Hospital, and also the management of the hospital. Right Honourable Speaker, we saw really as a committee that the hospital is in a dire state, and it really requires a government intervention to refurbish it, remodel it to modern standards. The committee made a number of observations in line with our scrutiny. The Committee on National Economy made a number of observations and also recommendations. Observation number one is, Right Honourable Speaker, the Committee on National Economy, in line with the project impact on the health budget, the committee observed that the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital activities are not included in the financial year budget of 2025-2026 approved under vote number 014, Ministry of Health. In addition, the activities are also not included in the multi-year commitment of government plan. Right Honourable Speaker, we bring this so that in future, as we borrow, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development should ensure that when they are bringing loans, the loans should be ready to handle these activities of the. The committee recommends that government should expedite the process of including the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital to form part of the multi-year commitment for the financial year 2025-2026 and the medium term. As a result, government should adjust the physical framework to include any costs associated with the financing modalities of the project for the financial year 2025-2026 and the medium term. Government should scale up its commitment to increase the health sector financing if the project benefits are to be sustained beyond the project's life span by assuring that the recurrent costs due to the project are timely absorbed into the national budget. Building infrastructure of the old hospitals. The committee noted that through government has been able to construct some new health center 3s and health center 4s with a view of extending services nearer to the people and easing pressure on the major hospital. The renovation and rehabilitation of existing old facilities has lagged behind. The level of dilapidation within Bugiri General Hospital and indeed other old health facilities, e.g. Abim Hospital and others, is still shocking. Most buildings need renovation, reconstruction, or extension. The committee recommends that government expedites the process of renovating all the remaining old health facilities in the country in light of the collapsed infrastructure systems in most of these old hospitals.
staff housing. The committee also observed the continued non-availability of adequate staff houses in health facilities. A majority of staff houses, for example in Bugiri Hospital, required renovation or are in a dilapidated state, are not fit for habitation. The lack of staff accommodation also has been cited as a major cause of failures to attract and retain staff, especially in rural-based health facilities. The committee recommends for the urgent need for government to provide a better accommodation facilities for medical workers at all health facilities. Inability for health facilities to provide accommodation for medical workers is of great concern, as it has highly contributed to the inability of local governments to attract and retain medical workers, even in the face of increased pay in form of additional allowances. Medical staffing levels. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee further observed that Bugiri General Hospital lacked some of the critical medical personnel. This was in conformity with the general case across all other general health facilities in the country, where most of the critical medical vacancies are not filled up, leading to high doctor-patient ratio. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Health, Public Service, and Bugiri local government should expedite the process of recruitment to fill vacant positions in the general hospital to reduce on the doctor-patient ratio. Right Honorable Speaker, there was also an increased mortality and efficiency. The committee observed that upgrading facilities and working conditions in Bugiri General Hospital is expected to sufficiently boost staff morale and operational efficiency, thereby enhancing the overall quality of healthcare delivery. Modernized work environments, coupled with the state-of-the-art equipment and resources, will create a more supportive and effective workplace for healthcare professionals. This improvement not only facilitates better performance, but also contributes to a more positive and productive atmosphere, benefiting both staff and patients. The committee recommends the following. To maximize these benefits, the Ministry of Health should continuously invest in comprehensive medical staff development and wellness programs. These programs often ongoing training, support career advancement, and promote overall well-being, all of which are essential for maintaining high levels of medical staff satisfaction and productivity. By addressing both the physical and professional needs of the workforce, the project can foster a motivated and efficient team. This holistic approach not only improves workforce morale, but also translates into superior patient care and a more successful healthcare operation, ensuring that the hospital delivers optimum services to the communities. On management, the committee further observed that deterioration of the health service delivery in the country was also due to the leadership and management challenges in the health facilities. The leadership and management practices and management systems have had major negative impacts on the delivery of healthcare services. The committee recommends that Ministry of Health should devise innovative mechanisms of addressing leadership and management challenges in health facilities across the country, as hospital infrastructure improvement without good leadership and management in the health facilities will be a disaster and should be seriously addressed. On health service delivery improvement, the committee observed that the primary objective of the hospital expansion is to significantly enhance health care services and improve health outcomes for the community. This goal involves more than just upgrading medical facilities and services to ensure that these enhancements are utilized to their fullest potential. It is essential to implement robust strategies for informing and involving local stakeholders. The committee recommends that in order to maximize the benefits of this project, the Ministry of Health should provide clear and accessible information about the new services and facilities of the hospital upon completion of this project. This includes creating outreach programs to educate the communities about the improvements and facilitating easy access to the new resources. By actively engaging with residents, addressing their needs and concerns, and ensuring they are aware of the expanded healthcare options, the project can satisfy.
Chair, can you summarize your? This is a straightforward loan.
Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker. Let me go now to the piecemeal rehabilitation of general hospitals. Right Honourable Speaker, the committee noted with concern the piecemeal and ad hoc nature with which government was coming up with the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of general hospital. Yet many of the old general hospitals across the country were in their need for rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping, with the exception of a few general hospitals recently renovated, such as Kayunga, Kiriadongo, Yumbe, and Kaolo general hospitals. Government through the Ministry of Finance, government through the minister responsible for finance, intimated to the committee that it plans in the medium term to prioritize, among others, the construction and rehabilitation of more health infrastructure and the provision of medical equipment to improve quality of care and provision of specialized healthcare services. This includes, among others, completion and refurbishment and equipment of general hospitals that include Abim, Apach, Atutur, Bundibujo, Kiboga, Kagadi, Kitagata, Kitugum, Palisa, Itojo, Masindi. Members noted the need to come up with a project model funding targeting all old and dilapidated general hospitals for rehabilitation. It is recommended that government designs a comprehensive project model for the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of general hospitals across the country in a systematic way, as opposed to carrying out piecemeal arrangements to match the current practices and technologies which were adopted in the new national standards designed for health center facilities 2012. In conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the committee has noted the government efforts to address health systems bottlenecks and improve effectiveness of the health sector. This project aims to enhance the quality of care in Bugiri General Hospitals by upgrading and equipping it with the modern medical equipment and facilities, thereby improving patient outcomes and overall healthcare delivery. Additionally, improved facilities and working conditions will boost staff morale and efficiency, aiding in the retention of skilled healthcare professionals. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the committee therefore supports and recommends to this House to approve the government request to borrow up to $20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital. I beg to report.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Chair. And you've heard from the Chair, it is a straightforward Request. There is a motion. There is a motion. There is a motion.
Right on, Speaker.
People from Kumi don't. Just
I
a
want
minute.
to thank you
Just
very
hold
much.
on, hold on. In the public gallery this afternoon, we have teachers and pupils from Kisiek Junior School, from Queen. You're most welcome, Queen. They are represented by Honorable Chemonges William and Honorable Cherukut Rose Emma. Welcome, thank you for coming, but don't travel in the night back. Make sure our children are safe. Thank you for coming. Join me in welcoming our children from Queen. Honorable Asumani.
Right on, Speaker, I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank in a very special way the committee chairperson for a very good report, and the committee members, and the minister, my OB, and formerly a member of my political laboratory. I want to thank you so much. Right on, Speaker, this is the best loan that this House has really procured for Bujiri Hospital. Right on, Speaker, one time the former Prime Minister had a chop accident in Bujiri. I'm building the motion. In Bujiri. Professor Sibambi was taken to Bujiri Hospital. He could not stay there for 3 minutes because of the condition of Bujiri Hospital. For 3 minutes. They had to call all tribes of ambulances from nearby and was taken to Kampala immediately. Former Prime Minister. At that time, he was Prime Minister. Right on, Speaker, Bujiri as a district and Bujiri General Hospital serves the neighboring districts, including people from Kenya, because we are
It is
almost
actually on a highway.
Yes, it's on the highway. People from DRC, from Tanzania, from all benefit from Bujiri Hospital. Right on, Speaker. Yes, the trailer drivers from DRC, when they get accidents, right on, Speaker, we serve, Bujiri serves all the neighboring districts, including Mayuge, where the Prime Minister comes from. They find their way in Bujiri Hospital. Therefore, I am glad, right on, Speaker, that the government is also heeding my advice. When we passed the Anti-Homosexuality Act here, and IMF and World Bank decided to cut funding, I did advise that we should seek for funding elsewhere. And I am glad that it is happening, and we are now in Arab Bank, although we are repairing our relationships with the World Bank and IMF. I am very grateful that you are doing so. In light of the straightforward nature of this report and the excellent work done by the committee chairperson and the minister, I beg to move, right on, Speaker, that this House unanimously, unequivocally adopts the report of the committee so that Bujiri Hospital gets the loan. I beg to move.
Seconded by the whole House. Anifa, Brenda, Veronica, Sailo, Acrobat, Helen, Nekesa, Honorable both, Luca, Achon, local government Prime Minister. I put a question that the House authorizes government to borrow up to USD 20 million from the Arab Bank for economic development of Africa, Badea, to finance rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping Bugiri General Hospital. Those in favor say on the contrary. The ayes have it. I'll direct the clerk to extract the resolution to the relevant authorities to enable timely execution. Thank you, members. Next item.
Item 6 on the order paper. Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government, on the annual report of the Auditor General to Parliament for the audit year ended 31st December 2024.
Honorable members, on 21st January 2025, the House received the reports of the Auditor General for audit year ended 31st December 2024. In furtherance to Article 163.3 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, the report was referred to the Public Accounts Committee to consider the parts of the report that related to the entities under their preview. And pursuant to Rule 188.6 of the Rules of Procedure, I will invite the Chairperson of Public Accounts Committee, Local Government, to present his report. And remember, the whole of last week and this week, I have been telling local LOP that all his reports must be presented this week. And I'm happy yesterday we received one report, a very big report from PAC, who did a very good job. We appreciated it. Today we have Honorable Gilbert Olanya, the local man from local. Honorable members, we want the report. Is the report uploaded?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to beg for your indulgence. PAC local government, we completed our engagement with the entities. We engaged with all the municipal councils, all the city authorities, and all the districts in Uganda. We traversed from west, north, east, and central. Right Honorable Speaker, we are in the process of compiling the report. The report is quite big. We have 171 entities. And what we have completed is the executive summary, whereby we were looking at the cross-cutting issues. Upon completion of looking at the cross-cutting issues, like the PDM, road funds, and those ones, we were now in the process of going to specific district by district. That's why, Right Honorable Speaker, I requested you the other time that if you can give us more time, possibly by next week on Tuesday, all the report would be ready. I just beg you for your indulgence. But if it is allowed, we have the executive summary, which is ready, and I beg for your indulgence to guide the committee. If you can present the executive summary, or if you can wait for all the report to be uploaded onto our system. I beg for your indulgence, right?
Thank you. Honorable members, for you to derive executive summary, there must be a report, not so. I need to be guided. Honorable Tororo and Tororo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee chair for informing us that actually they interfaced with all the entities. However, Right Honorable Speaker, for you to present the executive summary, you must actually present the detailed report. At least lay it there. Now, in the absence of that report, you cannot present the executive summary. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to propose that we could give them time, maybe tomorrow or next week, Tuesday.
Tomorrow we have COSASE, and my new these reports are time bound.
Yes.
And by the time you will set our program that this week we are finishing accountability reports, that means we have a calendar, parliamentary calendar.
Yeah, but Right Honorable Speaker, since work has been done, I think it would be important for us to receive those reports. If they can work overnight, Right Honorable Speaker, and tomorrow we consider the two accountability committees, so that we handle the next item. I see a bill on the order paper, and we conclude with that bill. That was really my contribution, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I wouldn't deviate much from
your woman. Your woman MP.
From my woman MP.
Your woman.
I know that she belongs somewhere else, and when Honorable Tushabe was asked, he feared to cross the floor, and I said, but he crossed a long time when he got Sarah this side. So this executive summary, like both the Honorable Lanya, a PhD holder, knows this very much. When you've done your research, these are specific points of the general overview of the main report. I'm even wondering how you've got an executive summary from where now? Because you needed to start the writing. You should be having at least a draft. And we must commend Park Central. They did a good job yesterday. And I think Lop.
At least clap for Lop.
So, but you see, you can't get it all right. On this one, you are not going to get a directive from the Speaker to ask us to clap for you. This one here, you should swallow it painfully and say you are not ready and the report is not there. Because the executive summary can only be appended to the general report, to the main report. And I know that Honorable Anya, if you could only reduce your trips to Agago where for land matters and concentrate on this report, you would conclude.
Honorable members, given that the committee is not able to report on the Auditor General's report, I want to invoke the rule on the precedent that was set in 2020 and put the question on the report of the Auditor General as referred to the committee. I now put a question that the annual report of the Auditor General to Parliament for the Auditor General for the audit year ended 31st December 2024 as referred to the Public Accounts Committee, Local Government, be adopted by this House. Those in favor stand the contrary nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to tomorrow.